Alright, Thalion. Yeah, this is his place. Let's see if he's got anything that I need. Thalion.
My talents are much needed here in order to keep Morthal safe. If you stand before me to accuse me of sacrificing children or eating the hearts of the dead, you may save your breath! I have done no such thing, nor do I intend to. I simply wish to live my life in peace.
Why would anybody accuse you of that?
The people of Morthal would much rather weave their own horrid tales about my life than simply ask me for the truth. If they choose to fear me in their ignorance, that's their choice, but it will not change what is true.
And if the people here hate you so much, why set up shop in Morthal at all?
As anyone will tell you, Morthal can be a dangerous place. My talents are useful here. I help maintain order, even if it goes unnoticed.
Well, if that's the case, you probably know the area fairly well. Could you give me the lay of the land? Any tips?
The marsh is treacherous. You would do well to not wander at night.
Not particularly helpful, but okay. Anyways, the main reason I came in here in the first place was to do business. I'm a conjurer myself. What do you have for sale?
Spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them.
Finally, someone comes in. Kick off your boots, stay a while. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. I got nothing but time these days.
Oh god, stop with the flute, please.
A new face. Such a welcome sight in dreary old Morthal. Welcome, friend. Welcome.
Well, Lurbach, it's nice to see you too, but I'm not exactly a new face. Don't you remember? Just last night we marched to Movar's lair. You know, the den of vampires. Anyway, forget about that. Water under the bridge. I've been meaning to ask, what is it that you do around here?
I'm a bard, trained at the Bard's College in Solitude. Wanderers like you should think about applying. Until next time.
Jeez. Talk about cutting the conversation short. Straight back to his flute. I asked him to stop playing it too.
There ain't much to offer, but if you want a place dry to spend the night, I'll rent you a room.
We'll get to that in a moment, Jonah, but I'm also looking for work. Have any leads?
Here, take a look at this. Some of the Jarl's men came by and left this bounty letter.
Oh. A giant. Well, dragons are one thing, but a giant. Well, maybe I'll be able to handle it. Before I head out, though, I need a room. I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off for days. I need a good rest.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
Oh, perfect. Actually, you know what? Something that's bothered me for a long time is the fact that a lot of these rooms don't come with doors.
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotta love how they don't, move out of
There
the
ain't
way.
much to offer, but if you want a place dry to spend the
I
night,
sleep for...
I'll rent you a room.
Goldir, I sleep for hours on end, and they don't, like, warp out of the room. Hello, Gorm.
Fancy robes. You a wizard or something?
You know I am, Gorm. But I'm a bit surprised. A little bit strange for you to leave the comfort of High Moon Hall for the moorside. Something must be on your mind to have you coming to the local inn to take your meals.
There is, a problem, yes. I'm worried about Idgrid, and I don't know what to do.
Worried? What about?
She is so lost in her visions, and it's only getting worse. I've looked after her safety for so long. If she can't tell what's real and what's not, how will she continue to lead Hjalmarch?
This isn't really my area of expertise, Gorm. I'm better with sword and spell. But if there's anything I can do, you have but to ask.
Yes, I suppose there is. There is a letter. One I have had for some time now. I think it is time it gets delivered. I cannot leave Idgrid's side, so I must stay here. Could you see that it reaches Captain Aldous in Solitude?
Solitude, you say? I've never been to the capital of Skyrim before. And Aldous, I suppose, is the leader of the guard? I think it's time for me to do a little bit of legwork. See more of the countryside. I'll make certain your letter reaches Aldous.
Thank you. Please, do not open it. It is private.
No worries, Gorm. The wax seal shall remain unbroken. Now, if you'll excuse me, I actually slept until this late hour in order to get some work done. I must be on my way.
Aye.
What the... Phalion?
My talents are much needed here in order to keep Morthal safe.
Yes, Phalion. I'm certain that they are, but... What are you doing out here?
What I am doing is none of your business. Why are you here? Did you follow me? I demand that you leave at once and never speak of this again.
What? Why? Why should I keep what you are doing a secret? Why shouldn't I tell anyone that you're out in the middle of the swamp at 4 o'clock in the morning near a summoning circle? What are you doing? What are you trying to keep secret?
It is none of your concern, I assure you. Just forget that you ever saw me here.
Just forget. I tell you what, Phalion. If you want me to keep quiet, it's going to take more than words to keep my lips sealed.
Is that so? I should have expected as much. Fine, I shall give you 200 gold and you shall leave me in peace. Now go. Leave me to my work.
This is quite the find. Let's light it up. See what the hell? We have a campfire that swallows light spells. Crap is... Ooh, hey, hello. It's a journal. Well. Danis Valen's journal. 18th of Morning Star, 4th Era, 201. How long has it been since I first heard the Galder legend? 80 years? 100? I can think of nothing else now. My goal is at hand. After years of searching, I finally traced the Ivory Claw to a collector in Breville. His death was necessary. But I have it. At last, I have it. 22nd of Morning Star, 4th Era, 201. 3 days of non-stop riding, I reached Anvil ahead of my pursuers and took passage on the Ice Runner, bound for Solitude once more. 29th of Morning Star. The other passengers are becoming suspicious. Returning from dinner, I caught one brute rooting around in my quarters. He almost found the claw. Had the captain not intervened, I would have flayed him alive. I hoped to spend the voyage sequestered in my room, reviewing my notes and preparing spells, but I need to deflect some attention from myself. I'll have to mingle. Pretend to be just another petty mage for now. 2nd of Son's done. The brute claims to be an adventurer, off to seek his fortune in the ruins of Skyrim with his companions. Perhaps I can turn him to my advantage, use them as fodder for the traps and Draugr within the tombs. I can see the greed in his eyes. Yes, that should work. 3 weeks to Solitude, the captain says. If I have to suffer these fools longer than that, I'll swim. 27th of Sun's Dawn. With the brute and his companions in tow, I led our band across the marsh to Folgenthur, where we made camp for the night. Little has changed since my first expedition 10 years ago, but this time, I have the claw, and I will have the amulet. I spent all night preparing a synopsis of my notes, in case some fragment of the tale or piece of ancient lore may be needed to bypass the wards within the tomb. Then, I cast all my books and scrolls into the fire, and reduced my life's work to ashes. At long last, Today is the day of reckoning. If I cannot have the amulet, no one will. Oop. Die. They go down so quick. I keep forgetting that many of the Draugr just fall down really, really fast. I mean, like, I'm like I've said in the past, my most common build that I tend to go through the game with, well, I mean, it's a... What the hell? Uh-oh. Goldair, get in here. I'll probably need you. The most common build that I play games with is a rogue, or, you know, just basically a thief, someone who sneaks around, thief/assassin, but whenever it comes to, like, subsequent playthroughs of Skyrim here, I've always stuck to, more magic-based users, which I guess is the reason why I fall over really, really quick and easy whenever I get into conflict or anything. Down you go. There we are. Okay. You know, considering that there's supposed to be a whole bunch of... I've run across several dead adventurers. I'm surprised that there are any Draugr left this far up in the ruins. You'd figure that more of them would have fallen over dead at this point. I got some half-decent loot in here. Oh! Fire and Darkness. If I recall correctly, that's not a half-bad book to read. Anyways. Just a lockpick. Not a lot for loot up in this room. Of course, then I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. I'll tell you, one thing that's really, both... I don't know, it's kind of troubling with my style of gameplay. Like, a big thing that I'm relying on in this particular playthrough here is, enchanting. Like, more than half of my money at this point has come from enchanting, because I'll, you know, I'll soul trap all of these Draugr, and I'll soul trap like 1.5 million. Well, I wish it was 1.5 million, but I'll soul trap like a really good, number... Saw that coming. I'll soul trap a good number of, like, wolves and mud crabs on the way to any given location that I'm headed to. And whenever I do that, I turn around and I use that to, like, enchant the most worthless of stuff. My problem is that I don't like using enchanting until it's maxed out to give myself a bump. Looks like we found... Yep. Danis Valen. Well, he's got the claw. Ooh, and notes. Okay, let's take a closer look at this. Notes. Danis Valen's notes. How to surmise a lifetime of research. So little of what I have learned matters now. The petty politics of ancient times, the age-long campaign to wipe out all mention of the Galdr name. I know not what awaits us within Folgenther. So here, then, is the truth of the tale, as best I have been able to piece it together. In the opening days of the First Era, the Archmage Galdr was revered throughout the North. Wisdom, wealth, honor, and power were his, and even Ysgrimar's heirs sought his counsel. Smothered by his shadow, Galdr's 3 sons grew cruel and resentful. They lusted after their father's power and prestige, and eventually Uric, the eldest, discovered its source, a mysterious amulet from which he never parted. Together, they conspired to murder their father in his sleep and divide his amulet between them. And so, it was done. Consumed by their newfound power, the brothers laid waste to the surrounding villages. So great was the carnage that the High King himself intervened, sending a company of battle mages led by the Archmage Geirmund to subdue the brothers. And after a devastating battle, the 3 fled the field. Mikrul, the youngest, was run to ground in Folgenther, the ancient barrow at the foot of Solitude, and though he fought for 3 days and nights, he was at last overcome and entombed there, his crypt sealed by an ivory claw. Geirmund pursued Uric to the shattered crypts of Sarthal, half buried even then. 10 veteran wizards fell before Uric's elemental magic, but he could not overcome them all together. He too fell, and was sealed within the ruined city. And at last, Sigdis was cornered in the southernmost reaches of Skyrim. He challenged Lord Geirman to a duel, knowing his foe was honor-bound to accept, and they clashed in battle, matched strength for strength, and fell together on the field before Iverstead. The High King ordered a tomb built for Geirman on the lake, which still bears his name, and had Sigdis sealed within, forever guarded by the one who slew him. Galder himself was interred in a cave not far from where his tower once stood, in a place called Reachwater Rock. And when it was done, King Harald issued an edict. The name and deeds of Galder and his sons were to be expunged from every record, every chronicle. Under pain of death, no word of them was to be spoken, lest any try to recover the amulet that had been sealed at so great a cost. And so, it was done. But a little survived the ages. Enough. 4,000 years have passed, and the tombs remain sealed. The fragments of the Galder amulet lie within. Since the day I first heard the rumor, I have felt its power calling me, pulling at me. I will be the one to reclaim it, restore it, and bear it out to the world once more. I must have it. I must. Okay. That looks like everything. I think that I've looted every Draugr in this little hallway here. Oh, save for this one. Potion of lockpicking. Not all that valuable to me, but, you know, I'll take it anyway. Okay. That looks like everything. Now to just get through this door. So, let's check the ivory claw. This would be hawk, and dragon. Okay, so... Oh, of course, leave it to me. Move the last ring that I have to move twice. Or, well, wait a minute. Move the ring I have to move twice last. There we go. It's long enough for this thing to slide open. Come on, man. Can't we get, like, some automatic doors? Something that just kind of senses my presence and opens? Anyways, I don't even remember what I... Ooh, hey, a steel plate helmet. I'll have to give that to Galder at some point here. He could use a he could definitely use a helmet. Our dear old Galder. Or not Galder. Jeez, I'm getting it all mixed up. Not Galder. His name is frickin' Goldir. Leave it to me. I'm all influenced by the fact that I'm, you know, inside of this dungeon, which, actually, I think this is gonna be the 2/3 mark, you know? 2 out of 3 dungeons that I have to complete. Well, actually, halfway mark, because you have to get all 3 fragments of the amulet, and then you have to fuse it back together, which is gonna take time within itself.
My Ismir, that's impressive.
Yes, it is Goldir. It is indeed. I don't think that we're in too much trouble here, but I am gonna level up anyway, because I need to. And I'm gonna take the next level of Conjuration, because I picked up that new spell whenever I was talking with, Phalion. Oh, yep, sure enough, there we go. There. So, let's soul trap Mikrul, because God knows he's gotta have a bigger soul than all the other freaking Draugr down here. And now we'll just hammer away at him. I'm pretty certain that if we get rid of him, all of his little summoned minions fall over to the side as well. Oh, come on. The way... Oh, yep, sure enough. It looks like that killed all of his little thralls, because I think he was a summoner here. Yeah, thrall. Yeah, they were all thralls. Technically, I suppose I could have trapped all of his thralls for, like, just a little bit of, Ooh, it's a writ of sealing. I think that I could have trapped all of his thralls. What have we got? Be bound here, Mikrul, murderer, betrayer. Condemned by your crimes against realm and lord, may your name and your deeds be forgotten forever, and the charm which you bear be sealed by our ward. Well, that's not a whole lot different from, the writ of sealing that was on the others. Yeah, they're all thralls. I'm curious what size soul the thralls were. Ah, damn it! I knew it. Frickin' banish Deidre spell that I picked up doesn't get rid of him. I mean, technically, I suppose what I can do is I can summon back up the fire elemental and then banish that, which, that's a little bit roundabout. I'll just let Icy follow me around for a little bit and until he dissipates. I say he, but at the same time, our dear ice elemental here is just an enormous hunk of ice. I don't think that it fornicates at all, really. Anyways. Another petty soul gem. I've actually got an excess of petty soul gems at this point. I really need access to creatures that can fill them. Which is one of the reasons why I'm curious what these thralls here would have counted as for soul level. Whether or not they would have filled my petty gems, or if they would have gone into lesser. Lesser being a size gem that I'm kind of short on. I'm certain that I'm going to be turning around and finding lots and lots of souls that will start filling up common gems quite a lot as well. Doesn't look like there's anything back around here, so... Oh, there we go. My summon is finally dissipated. Oh, what do you know? I did miss some. How could I do that? Okay. Alright, so there should be one other little... Yep, sure enough, these little bars. I mean, it's supposed to be 2 routes, but one of them is caved in. So, what have we got here? Look like a small bag of gold. 33 coins, and an empty burial urn. How wonderful. Right, so... There should be a word wall back here as well, I heard it. Let's go ahead and nab that. And, ooh, it's another coin purse. Who leaves 21 perfectly good septums in the bottom of a dungeon for like 100 years? Well, more than 100 years. Oh boy, Frost Breath. I don't really put a lot of stock in Frost Breath because I don't really put a lot of stock in shouts, but what have we got in the loot crate? Oh, well, I mean, it's some good stuff, not really amazing things. Nah, never mind. I mean, I've got enough space in my inventory to pick a few extra things up that I can sell off whenever I leave. But yeah, it looks like that's it for this frickin' dungeon. It's, well, I mean, it was reasonably long. Fulganther. There's one last thing that I have to... God, jeez. Galder, standing right in front of me. There's one last thing that I've left to do. Oh! Coming out of a sarcophagus. Oh, that's something that I haven't... I kind of forgot that was one of the ways that you could loop back around in some of these dungeons. It's been a while. What can I say? There's one last loot area that I don't want to miss. Right here. I saw this when I came in. Don't want to pass by it as I'm leaving. Man, the adventures that Valen guy brought with him were really pathetic. Aha. Oh, well, that's alright. That's alright. Okay, then. So, Galdir, we finished another barrow. I hope you didn't shit your pants. I know that you don't like these places. I mean, that's some pretty shiny armor. I don't want you crapping in it. Anyways, let's get out of here and head back to Morthal to do 1 or 2 extra things, and we'll be on our way.